This is ABC 3340 News. Now, breaking news.
Good evening, I'm Megan Scarano. We start tonight with breaking news. A child riding an ATV was hit by a car at Avenue G and 34th Street in Inslee. The child was transported to Children's Hospital with severe injuries. We will update you as soon as we learn more. Also new at 6, a man is now behind bars in Pelham County after a shooting in the Bremen community. Investigators say Richard Anthony Viskowskis is charged with first-degree domestic violence and assault. One person was found at the scene in Bremen, shot multiple times. Viskowskis fled the scene. He was arrested in Winston County. He is held on no bond under Anaya's law. In Talladega County, the search continues for missing 21-year-old Jerry Wilkins. He has not been seen since January 3rd. His family says he did not return home after getting a haircut. He left behind his phone and medication. He drives a white Yukon with the tag number you see right here on your screen. Dive crews are assisting in the search. They searched the Coosa River near Childersburg looking for Wilkins' car. Nothing was found. The search also continues for a missing woman out of Marion County. The sister-in-law of 39-year-old Chastity Terry handed out flyers in Marion and Walker County today. Terry was last seen on surveillance video at a Love's truck stop in Jasper early on the morning of January 10th. Investigators have conducted searches along County Highway 45 and exit 22 on I-22. Alabama DHR turned over records requested by attorneys for the grandfather of missing 1-year-old Caleb Collins. John Bailey is charged with failing to report the missing toddler. Court documents show DHR submitted the records to his defense. Questions still remain surrounding what happened to the missing toddler. Caleb was discovered missing after a fatal car crash that left his father and 2-year-old sister dead. His mother is also charged in his disappearance. A chilly last Saturday of January, although it feels a little bit warmer from the temperatures we've had recently. Meteorologist Riley Blackwell joins me now. Riley, where can we expect the temperatures tonight?
We're definitely not going to be bone chilling anymore tonight into tomorrow morning, but we do have a cold front approaching, but that front is not going to be bringing any bitter Arctic air. Most of us have seen a lot of sunshine today with this high pressure down to our south and east, and temperatures were a little bit on the warmer side, especially compared to what we have seen. We're still at 45 Birmingham, Clanton, 53 Centerville, 46 Tuscaloosa, 46 as well in Fayette, 41 Coleman, 35 Gadsden, and 36 in Anniston. Now, over the next several hours, temperatures will slowly start to fall down into right around freezing. Some places could be in the upper teens with clouds moving in from the west, mainly in the middle to upper 20s further to the north, lower 30s right around freezing further to the south. But as those clouds move in, it will likely bring the chance of some rain, mainly tomorrow night into Monday. And overall, this coming week will likely be fairly turbulent with several rounds of rain. How much rain can we see and how warm can we get? That in the full 7-day coming up.
Listen to this, a major medical milestone accomplished for one Alabama transplant of pig kidneys. Looney's doctors hope she will return to her home in Gadsden in a month from where she is receiving care up in New York. She is now the longest living recipient of a pig organ transplant in the entire world. Pelham City Schools is looking to break ground on a new high school. The superintendent presented the plan this week. ABC 3340's Olivia Goche joins us now from the newsroom. Olivia, Pelham is growing.
Yeah, Megan. Right now, more than 3,400 students are enrolled in the school district, and there's more growth expected. Pelham residents I spoke to today say a new school may be for the best.
I think it's worth my tax dollars to keep the school system growing, to have, nice things that are a draw for other families to come. And I don't mind that, even though I don't have kids in it, that my tax money would go to support it. I'll be for that.
Taxpayers in Pelham agree growth in the city is evident. The proposed property for the new school is behind Pelham Racquet Club.
Building a new high school and then having each of our schools, keeping them all online, but changing the configuration so that we use the old high school potentially as a middle school, we use Pelham Park potentially as an intermediate school, and we use Oaks and Ridge as early childhood education, pre-K through 2. Space in all our campuses for growth.
These proposed plans also include the creation of an intermediate school and conversion of the current Pelham High School facility into a middle school, and Pelham Park as an intermediate school K program.
The process very well. I know people pre-K very well. I know those involved for part of the pre-K grant process.
Residents like Robin Willingham think it's exciting news.
As a resident of Pelham, you want there to be nice things, and so that people keep moving here with families. And I think expanding and getting a new high school would just be another draw. The park is a great place, the library, brand new middle school. We love it here, and I think a high school would be awesome.
This proposed expansion will use the 69 acres of land the city purchased in August of 2023. Megan.
Olivia Gauthier reporting. The Hoover City Board of Education filed a motion to dismiss a lawsuit brought against them, citing state immunity under the Alabama Constitution. The lawsuit was filed by families of 2 former Hoover High School football players. It alleges former football coaches employed by the board assaulted and battered the players, and accuses the board of negligent hiring, training, supervision, monitoring, and retention of employees. The lawsuit was filed after a video circulated on social media showed an incident that allegedly happened on the Hoover High School football field. Bessemer City Schools' accreditation status is now accredited under review. Due to the state intervention, the accrediting agency presented a portion of its report to the board at Thursday night's board meeting.
So when the state intervenes as your creditor, we automatically also.
When the State Board of Education intervened with Bessemer City Schools in August, their accrediting agency was notified. The district's status was changed from accredited to accredited under review. The district underwent a monitoring review by Cognia in October. Andre Harrison with Cognia presented a portion of the full report.
So we looked at 4 areas. We looked at culture, we looked at leadership, we looked at engagement, and engagement ties a lot back to what's happening in the classroom and impacting student learning. And then we looked at growth.
The monitoring review included interviews and school visits. Harrison says a key area for Bessemer City Schools for improvement is leadership. At the meeting, he explained the 6 improvement priorities for the district, which include a comprehensive professional development plan for board members, establish clear policies for recruiting, screening, and hiring employees, review and revise the district's strategic plan, implement processes and professional learning sessions for the board to understand their roles, monitor improvement goals, create two-way communication between the district and the community.
When you see the report, it will talk about making sure that the board understands its role tied to different expectations as well as the staff. What we saw sometime that there were maybe times where that didn't happen.
The report outlines directives for the district to achieve the improvement priorities. Also at the board meeting, months into the state intervention, some board members are still questioning what the state's role really is in the district. This after receiving a few items on the agenda they were not made aware of prior to receiving it.
And they mentioned to us when they took over our school system, we were a team, it was going to be a partnership. And now it feels like a dictatorship because it's either you got to take it or leave it. And no matter what, this whole agenda is passed whether we vote on it or not.
So you still have the ability to do that. You still have the ability to approve every single item on the agenda. So the whole point is for the board to transition into a point where you from that.
The board also approved more than $800,000 in renovations to Abrams Primary. A signal facility projects are moving in the right direction. A renovation includes updating the bathrooms and roof. We have put in a request to Bessemer City Schools for the full report from Cognia. We have not heard back. Managers at the Birmingham Airport are now working on security enhancements after thieves stole 2 cars from parking decks. One vehicle taken in December, the other earlier this month. One went through the toll booth, the other down a one-way exit. It's a place travelers usually feel safe leaving a vehicle for an extended period of time. Airport managers say they're working to make a priority to work with the police who have a large police presence at the airport already.
Money's not the issue. We're happy to do additional advancements out there, and we're going to be meeting with the police to make sure that they, as the professionals.
And one piece of advice, don't leave your parking ticket inside of your car. Having the ticket will make it that much easier for a thief to make a getaway. Our I-team is working on an expanded report with more information on how you can protect your property. We continue to stay on top of the officer shortage with the Birmingham Police Department. Today, 75 people attended the department's physical agility training. In total, 110 applicants may enter the hiring process for the March Academy class. Pete Hegseth was sworn in on Saturday to lead the Department of Defense. Vice President J.D. Vance cast the tie-breaking vote. 3 Republicans voted against his confirmation. Here's
newly confirmed Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth thanking President Trump at his swearing-in Saturday after narrowly being confirmed in the Senate.
It is the honor of a lifetime, sir, to serve under you. We look forward to having the backs of our troops and having your back in executing peace through strength, in putting America first, and in rebuilding our military.
The confirmation vote tied 50-50 after 3 Republicans, Senators Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, and Mitch McConnell, voted against Hegseth.
And the nomination is confirmed.
Vice President J.D. Vance called in to cast the deciding vote.
When you win the championship, you don't give a damn what the score was. We won the championship on this one. We've got a great Secretary to...
Winning Senate confirmation.
The nomination is confirmed.
Her vote, 59-34. Several Democrats voting in her favor. She will now oversee 22 agencies with more than 260,000 employees, working on issues ranging from the border to federal disaster management to the Secret Service. This comes as Trump starts his campaign to deport migrants. The White House says violent criminals will be targeted first. Border czar Tom Homan tells ABC's Martha Raddatz not everyone swept up in the raids fits that profile.
You're going to see the numbers steadily increase, the number of arrests nationwide as we open up the aperture. Right now it's concentrating public safety threats, national security threats. That's a smaller population.
Both Noem and Hegseth will help oversee deportation efforts and Trump's call to seal the southern border. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
4 Israeli female soldiers have returned home. They were freed as part of the 6-week ceasefire deal. And in exchange, Israel released 200 Palestinian prisoners. As part of the ceasefire, Israel agreed to allow displaced citizens to return to their homes in northern Gaza. However, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu Saturday halted that part of the deal. He claims Hamas violated the agreement by not releasing female civilians first.
Once the fires were over and the dust settled, we then realized our school was 4/10 of a mile from the burn zone, and it was still standing, covered in ash, but it was still standing. And then the question became cleaning and air quality.
There are new concerns today in California about toxins in ash from the wildfires. Take a look at this. One parent wipes at her daughter's elementary school the blinds with a rag, turning black from the soot and the ash. The school just half a mile from the devastating Palisades fire. Of course, the horror and devastation of the fires has traumatized countless communities, but one health expert says the lingering health effects of so much particulate in the air has yet to be qualified.
Homes burned, cars burned, electronics, batteries, homes that were older than 1980s could have asbestos in it. And so this ash can have various plastics, pesticides, lots of different things that have burned that are potentially toxic.
Parent of elementary schooler Kelly Ferrone says they won't be sending their daughters back to the school if the school proceeds with raised more than $350,000 to help victims of Hurricane Helene. And now you can help provide assistance to the victims of the wildfires in South California. Our parent company, Sinclair, is partnering with us right now. More than $148,000 has been donated, and you still have a chance to help. Just scan the QR code you see right here on your screen to make a donation. Now to a follow-up out of Pickens County after the ambulance service there shut down for good just last month. State lawmakers are now looking to bring the ambulance service back, and they want voters to decide whether they want to pay a yearly tag renewal fee to make it all possible. The ambulance service ended in December due to the lack of funding.
I kind of stand with it, then again I don't, but if we need an ambulance service, then I guess we just have to, do that, just give up $10, I guess.
The referendum for the tag removal must first go through the legislative session and will not until May of 2026. A shocking walkout in Talladega County. A volunteer fire department is now down more than half of its force after a board of directors meeting went wrong. ABC 3340's people they serve.
We were immediately just kind of taken away by the entire scene when we walked in. Everybody seemed a little on edge.
Sierra Andrews attended Thursday night's Board of Directors meeting for the Lake Fire Department. She's the wife of one of the 14 volunteers who resigned after that meeting. There are claims the board acted unethically, and the current fire chief was stripped of certain duties and access to some equipment. Concerns dealing with security camera footage from within the facility being shared with people who don't work at the department were also brought up by volunteers.
The board kind of started to brush that off. It wasn't a very consistent conversation. They were like, nobody's using this.
Lake Fire Chief Yancey Brown says video of a volunteer member being reprimanded had been downloaded to a personal device and shared outside the department. In a social media post on his personal account, Brown says he intended to talk to the board of directors about the issue at the meeting. He was unable to attend due to his work schedule, but asked the meeting be moved, to which the board declined, according to Brown. A statement from Brown says, due to the board of directors' apparent lack of trust in my capabilities as a fire chief to perform even the simplest of duties, and the blatant disrespect shown to our members' concerns and to myself, 14 members of the department resigned last night. Prior to his post Friday, Brown was told he could no longer make comments to the media, and the board decided the department's Facebook page run by Brown would be shut down. From Sierra Andrews' perspective,
he was not here to defend himself, and they could not directly tell him, we don't want you to no longer be chief. They just decided if we push him out, then that's going to be the best decision.
While at the fire department Friday, I briefly spoke with the department's public information officer. He had no comment on last night's meeting. I have called and left a message with the board president requesting more information about the meeting. Although down volunteers, I'm told that fire service will continue for those serviced by the Lake Volunteer Fire Department. According to Chief Brown, a neighboring volunteer fire department will be picking up any calls that Lake cannot. In Talladega County, I'm Erin Wise, ABC 3340 News.
Chief Yancey Brown says he has an emergency called meeting with the board of directors on Sunday to discuss what happened during that meeting.
Now, the ABC 3340 Sports Desk with Jamie Hale.
Well, Reese, first of all, it's great to be back at Neville Arena in front of the best fans in college basketball. It's tremendous. I feel a real responsibility. When it came to Auburn, Auburn's men's basketball program wasn't competitive, and I knew what that was like at Tennessee. You lose to Auburn, and all of a sudden you lose your chance of going to the NCAA tournament. We were no longer going to be a bottom feeder, and so we wanted to hold up our end.
A pumped-up Bruce Pearl on College Game Day talking about turning the Auburn program around. Pearl's granddaughter joined him on set, and she was held into the air like Lion King by her proud Papa Pearl. The top-ranked Tigers face number 6 Tennessee tonight at 7:30. Now, Janai Broome is questionable, but Pearl says there is a chance he will play. The Tigers have won 2 games without Pearl.
We were able to win at South Carolina because, we are a much better team with Janai Broome. He's a tremendous offensive weapon, so you have to find other ways to score. Like against one of the best defensive teams in the country in Tennessee tonight, it's going to be hard for hopefully both teams to be able to score. But it's a next man up mentality.
Tonight in Tuscaloosa, the 4th-ranked Crimson Tide are hosting LSU. Bama's not only looking for its 3rd straight 100-plus point win this season, but its 3rd straight in the series against LSU. Right now, the Sanford Bulldogs are hosting Wofford in a SoCon showdown. We'll have full game highlights in post tonight at 10 o'clock.
Basketball's heating up.
I know, a wild Saturday so far. A lot of upsets we'll talk about tonight.
And actual temperatures might be heating up a little. Well, heating up. Let's just say that. But
anything's a heat up.
Really a far cry from what we've seen over the past several weeks. I mean, we're going to be almost spring-like as we head into the first part of February. But that also brings the chance of some rain and thunderstorms. Right now, though, we do have a cold front approaching from the north and west. It's a very slow-moving system, but along that, we're likely going to see some showers start to pop up probably late tomorrow afternoon. This shouldn't say future wind chills. I do apologize for that. These are actual temperatures and simulated radar. We are likely going to have some more widespread showers on the western side of the state by about 6 o'clock tomorrow after tomorrow. Coming about 6 or 7 o'clock, becoming more widespread, but right around midnight. But look at these temperatures, 30s and 40s. So one, we're not worried about the chance of severe weather. And two, we're not worried about the chance for wintry weather. Once again, that's very good news. But all of this rain will likely persist into early Monday morning. But really, that's going to kick off a fairly active week with several days. Tuesday's looking relatively calm. Stray shower or two can't be ruled out for Wednesday. But then on Thursday, from the west, widespread rain could be possible on the western side of the state. But I've been keeping a fairly close eye on the weekend and the beginning of next week. We're going to have a system moving its way in, a strong southerly flow. That's going to, one, result in very heavy rain, but two, could result in the chance of some stronger thunderstorms. But remember, this is still over a week away, so things will certainly change. It's just something we have been keeping an eye on. Some showers lingering to the south and east throughout the day on Sunday, with more of the same expected for Monday, especially in terms of rain, maybe a rumble of thunder. But right now, like we said, it's still over a week away and things will certainly change. But we are expecting very beneficial rainfall, especially on the western side of the state, around 2 inches in Pickens County, about 1 3/4 inches up in Fayette County. But a lot of these storm systems really losing its energy the further east you go. So only about 1 inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch expected for the eastern side of the state. But we can say with pretty good confidence that we are expecting multiple rounds of rain this week and above average temperatures. Looking over the next week to 2 weeks, well above average temperatures are expected for much of the southeast, including the areas that just got that historic snowfall along the Gulf Coast. And speaking of a little bit warm, we are going to be warming up a little bit for tonight, about the middle to upper 20s and lower. Spread rain by the evening and overnight hours into Monday. But by Tuesday, a lot of us nearing 60, and better rain chances will be back Wednesday, Thursday, and especially Friday and into the weekend. And by this time next week, highs could be in the middle to potentially even upper 60s.
Well, you can scan the QR code right here on your screen to get access to the ABC 3340 weather app. The app gives you access to live radar, James's weather blog, and the 7-day forecast. One more thing before we go tonight. The Love Lady Center in Birmingham helps women it gives them a second chance to get sober in life. Recently, on the coldest night of the 24 hours out in the cold, to talk on Facebook Live about solving the problem of homelessness with the community, leaders, and others concerned. It's her sacrifice and her daily work that has McGee chosen as this week's Alabama champion.
Let's sit on a bench and talk about it. Let's talk with those who have overcome homelessness. Let's talk with leaders of the community, with other people who are doing it well.
The Love Lady Center provides a loving environment for up to 500 women and children. Some are there because they're court-ordered, others are fleeing domestic violence. Women can help find new purpose through training and faith at the center. That's dedication for a cause you really care about. This week was cold. Well, that's all the time for the news at 6. We are back on your TV screens tonight at 10. Have a great evening. We will see you then.